Danielvich or what?
Dazovic.
Dazovic.
Daniel Dazovic.
Daniel Dazovic.
That's if I was working at Nestle, that is. How's everything this morning?
Well, very fine. I'm excited because it's only 2 days away
Yeah.
when the crazy ride arrives. So if you haven't gotten your ticket yet, please get ready. This is going to be more than worth your while to be there.
Uncle, can I see one thing?
Yeah.
For Super Morning Show listeners who may not know, Enimado will make an appearance on stage.
Yes,
during the crazy
she will. She will be dancing and singing.
Okay, so you want to head over to the National Theatre this weekend?
Well,
and see
get to see why she's such a cherished member of the group.
Great,
and of the team. And then Raymond said one day when he's ready, we would also see him.
Okay, that's one show I definitely want to see. Let's go back. Uncle, well, before you come, Food for Thought is brought to you by Roverman Productions. Like we said, join us at the National Theatre, 1st, 2nd, 8th, and 9th of September to toast out the old and cheering the new Roverman decade. It's a crazy ride, and you can't miss it.
Then, Ghana is not a poor country. If you think of all the unjustifiable judgment debts we have paid very willingly, even when a court of competent jurisdiction ruled that we should not pay, and when you think of all the liquidity support we can allow to go down the drain because we failed to do what was needful to protect the public purse, then you know that Ghana is not poor. But Ghanaians feel poor because we are becoming a nation with a majority who are pickpockets. And that is why we don't see money in our pockets, because as you are picking someone's pocket, someone else is picking yours. Some people are positioned to pick multiple pockets at a time, and they also have multiple people picking their pockets as well. It is about time we woke up to the fact that sustaining a system where everyone is picking someone's pocket is not the way to build a strong and prosperous nation. We need to change this aspect of life in Ghana. And this morning, I want to name and shame the pickpockets among us. Here we go. Pickpocket number 1. If you take rent advance, you are a pickpocket. I am glad that Parliament is addressing the issue of rent advances in Ghana. It is so unfair and it causes stress for many workers. Ghanaians are paid 1 month in arrears. Where is the average Ghanaian worker expected to get the money to pay for 3 years' rent in advance when he's not even paid 1 month in advance? I wonder if the average worker in any developed country had to come up with the money to pay 3 years advance, whether he will be able to do so. So, if you're a landlord and you take rent advance, you are not only a pickpocket, but you make pickpockets of your tenants. 2, if you operate a creche or a KG and you run extra classes for the children, you are a pickpocket. Extra classes for creche? What is expected of children in creche? So why do they need extra classes? 3, if you take goodwill for a new shop, you're a pickpocket. Goodwill is for established businesses. So if a landlord of a shop is charging goodwill, it must be because he has managed the property in such a way that it is drawing customers to the shops. But when a landlord insists on goodwill for a new shop, what is that for? If not just an excuse to extort more money from the tenant. And that is why you are a pickpocket. 4, if you take kickbacks, you are a pickpocket, big time. The problem with taking kickbacks is that it emboldens the contractor or supplier to either inflate the prices or to deliver poorly on the contract or not to perform the contract at all. Or it emboldens the contractor to do all the things I have just mentioned. When you take kickbacks, what you're actually doing is picking the pocket not just of the contractor, but of everyone else in Ghana, since the kickback leads to contract prices being inflated. 5, if you accept money before you perform your duty, you are a pickpocket. When you deal with some public offices, you are left wondering if they are not paid to do their job, but that they have been told to make their money from serving members of the public. It seems that for some people, the salary they are paid is for their leaving their homes every morning. What they do in the offices is not covered by the salary, and so everyone they serve has to chip in to give them liquidity support. 6, If you made a man take care of you through school only for you to finish and dump him, you are an armed pickpocket. Then, with the increase in expensive private universities, we are seeing a rise in the number of girls who are being sponsored through school by men who they find a way of getting rid of as soon as they finish school. 2 years ago, a young man told me how he sacrificed everything to help his girlfriend through the university, only for the girl to say after her final paper that he is not her type of man. You know, for 4 years when the boy was paying the exorbitant school fees, she did not see that he was not her type of man. Pickpocket. 7. If you take money to vote for a political candidate, you are not only a pickpocket, but you pick your own pocket. One of the weaknesses in our political system is that political candidates have to find the money to pay for votes. There are people who will vote for any candidate who pays them, as long as the candidate pays them. Now, when you take money to vote for a politician, you must know that from that day on, he's no longer accountable to you. He has discharged his responsibilities to you, so you cannot really complain when he does not work for the best interests of the nation. And that is why if you take money to vote, you are a pickpocket because you are picking the pocket of the candidate. But you're also picking your own pocket, because that candidate, when he gets into power, will not bother with working for the development of Ghana. 8. If you travel to China and other places to import inferior goods, you're a pickpocket. Ghanaians go to China and other countries, and they walk past the quality stuff and buy and import cheap, shoddy products into Ghana, and they sell them for the same prices as the quality products they walked away from. That is pickpocketing, because you are taking money from your customers without giving them any value. But more importantly, you are wasting the nation's foreign exchange reserves for nothing. 9. If you use your position to promote the business of a foreigner for personal gain and at the expense of a local business, you are an armed robber. I believe that it is good that Ghana has become so attractive that foreign investors are pouring into the country. Unfortunately, there are foreigners who come to Ghana without the requisite capital requirements, and Ghanaians help them to circumvent the regulations, and then they promote these businesses just because of what they stand to gain from promoting those businesses. It is so bad that every foreigner says Ghana is a hospitable country, but the citizens live with a different reality. A Ghanaian based in a West African country told me that in that country, if the local people have not sold their goods, there's no way a Ghanaian based there would make any sales. He said, the people will not buy from a foreigner as long as their countryman has stock. The situation is very different in Ghana. In Ghana, we'll promote the business of the foreigner and frustrate that of the Ghanaian. And when any Ghanaian promotes the business of a foreigner at the expense of our national interests and at the expense of a fellow Ghanaian's business, that person is not just a pickpocket, but an armed robber. And finally, 10. If you caused the collapse of a bank and benefited from the collapse, you are an Al-Qaeda operative. A young man I know was poached from his secured position in an established bank by one of these new banks. 9 months later, the new bank has collapsed, and the young man is now in a limbo because he has been tainted by the collapsed bank. His whole future and that of his children are at jeopardy. And that is why I say if you played a role in the collapse of any of the banks and you profited in the process of collapsing the bank, you are not just a pickpocket, but you are an Al-Qaeda operative because you are destroying lives. And Dan, you're going to discuss that issue now. 7,000 people.
1,700.
1,700 people who have become victims of the Al-Qaeda operatives.
Yeah. Actually, this morning you have done all my promoing for me, because you have talked about how much these people are going to suffer.
Oh, you're going to suffer a lot.
What ordeal they're going to face.
Well, since I've done your promo for you, do my promo for me for Saturday and Sunday for a crazy ride at the National Theatre.
I'll be glad to.
All right. So I'll see you over the weekend. Right?
Yes, you will see me over the weekend.
And the whole team.
Yes, the team will be well represented.
Okay.
Yes.
And have you seen Papa now today?
Hey, Papa is in his white shirt
Yeah.
and his red striped tie.
You know why?
You told
We
me.
had a deal.
Oh, okay.
So for raising the bar, Papa will get a special seat on Saturday.
Wow. In that case, Papa will be sitting by me in front.
Yeah, but why not? Dan, enjoy your day. I'll see you at the
too.
National Theatre.
Yes, I will. Thank you so much, Uncle Ebo, for joining us. Like George and I have been saying since yesterday, it's going to be a great weekend because it begins with our Dome Praise tomorrow in the evening.